Welcome to Happiest Places Home. Today we're exploring this beautiful Pottery Barn room. On my last video, I gave viewers a choice of 3 rooms, and this is the one that most people voted for. So we're exploring each piece in the room, and I'll show you different dupes for the items. If you stay tuned to the end of this video, we'll also take a look at different paint colors and how they affect the mood of the room. Stay tuned after that to have a little design lesson to see how these rooms are put together so beautifully. We'll start with the largest item in the room, and that is the Henley sofa. This is Pottery Barn's take on a modern Chesterfield. What makes it different than the traditional is the square arms, and they really do make this piece look different. It was actually hard to find a dupe that was as beautiful as this. This is performance fabric, and it's great for dogs and children, and it does pill a little bit, but they sell a razor for that purpose. Out of the 3 dupes that I found, I think the most similar is the Overstock Classic Chesterfield Velvet. Although the Pottery Barn Henley is preferable to my taste, if you can't afford the price tag, which I wouldn't want to pay that much for a sofa, this Overstock Chesterfield is only $783. The shape is very similar. The fabric texture would just feel quite different. The second dupe is this sofa from Raymour and Flanigan. It's called the Del Rey, and it comes in at $770. This one has a little bit more of a glam feel, and the chrome on the bottom makes me say that, as well as the cushion, the circular cushion, but it does look very similar to the Pottery Barn. By the way, the Pottery Barn has that linen blend look, but it is polyester, just like our dupes are. Our third dupe is the most affordable one. It's $612. This is a Christopher Knight design called the Parkhurst Chesterfield, and it's found at Overstock.com. The fabric is faux leather, and it is a super bright white, which is achieved best by having a fake leather for some reason. This looks more like a traditional Chesterfield with the rolled arms, but they are a bit squared, bringing the modern feel back. Now, the other traditional portion are the tacks. And brass tacks are sometimes in fashion, sometimes they aren't, but I don't think it matters because they have completely stood the test of time over decades. Let's talk about the 2 swivel chairs in the room. So these are from Pottery Barn Kids. It's meant for a nursery, but swivel chairs are so popular right now. I'm sure you could find other styles at just regular Pottery Barn and in a number of places. I love swivel chairs for a room. In this room, it doesn't make sense what I'm about to say, but if you have them in the middle of 2 rooms, the person can turn to have different conversations, and that's really fun. So I found a really great dupe for this. The Allen & Roth Hoteley found at Lowe's comes in at $379. I found a few chairs that had that sloped arm look, but this one was the most affordable. The fact is that both the Pottery Barn model and the one found at Lowe's are performance fabric, and they're both polyester. The Pottery Barn swivel has a skirted bottom where the Lowe's version doesn't. I actually prefer the streamlined look without the skirted bottom, but it just depends on your taste. P.S. The $1,099 for that Kelsey swivel is actually a fairly decent price. So if you're liking the look of that and the extra slope at the edge on the arm, then that's the one to go for. But if you want to save budget, the $379 looks beautiful as well. Now we're looking beyond the sofa and chairs to the beautiful console tables on the back wall. Those are the Pottery Barn Delaney marble console. It is real marble. So a $349 price for real marble is a decent price, but I did find this dupe at Walmart. It's the Room Fitters faux marble console. These are $70 each, which is quite the bargain. Now let's take a look at this small drinks table next to one of the Kelsey swivel chairs. What a perfect piece to just enough to put a drink on so that you don't have to try to journey over to the coffee table. There are 2 colors of this drinks table. There's a bronze, which is the one used in the room, and then there's a gold, which I'm showing you here. Here's the first of two dupes that I have for you. This one's from Perigold. It's called the Butler Darien $105 cocktail table. So you saw that the shapes and the lines were a little bit more similar to the Pottery Barn one, but the Pottery Barn is not that much more money, so if you like the shape of that better, it does seem worth it to purchase that one. Target's brand Threshold has a more modern version, and this one has real marble on the bottom and it has cleaner lines. So it depends on your style. I think the Pottery Barn is for traditional and transitional. The one from Perigold was a lot more traditional, and then we've got our modern look here. Let's take a look at the 3 throw pillows, 2 on the sofa, 1 on one of the swivel chairs. It's the Fay linen textured throw pillow cover. It's $59. So I did find a dupe for this, and it's also a pillow cover. It's an Etsy shop called Linen Fog, and this is their natural linen pillow cover for $9. So obviously we'd be getting 3 at $9 or 3 at $59. It's a huge difference. Next we have the antiqued brass tray, and you can barely see it in this angle, but it's an extra long tray. So at Pottery Barn, this tray is $149. I found a dupe that is just as long at Amazon. It's signature designed by Ashley, so an Ashley furniture product. It's called the Posy Tray, and it's $66.29. They're both made of the same materials, I checked. And now here's another dupe that looks even more like the tray, but it's just not as wide. This is from the Fortune Off Backyard Store. Same materials as we had said, and this one is $80, but it's 22 inches versus the 34. Next, we're looking at the blue throw blanket, which is on the other swivel chair. It's a nice way to splash the blue across the room. It's Pottery Barn's Bayside Seed Stitch. It's $90 to $129, and it varies, the price varies with the color. So Overstock has a very similar blanket, but it's not seed stitch. The pattern is a little wider. It's the $61 Safavia Larza model. So it's a much better price, and both are 100% cotton. Over each console table next to the fireplace, there is a floating frame. It's the wooden black floating frame by Pottery Barn. It's priced at $129. I found a dupe on Amazon. The MCS Studio Gallery frame, it's $42. And it is a nice quality piece. It has gotten wonderful ratings. It appears that in this design there are photos or drawings that I didn't see offered by Pottery Barn, but it's really easy to have your own photo, get it printed in black and white. You can even switch it to black and white before you get it printed instead of having the printer do that. And there are a bunch of websites where you can do it, and you can also have it done at drugstores. Back left corner of the room has Pottery Barn's faux potted fiddle leaf fig tree. It's $599. You can get a real fiddle leaf fig tree at Lowe's for $36. If you watched my last video, you know how I feel about real versus fake plants. But if you can't care for a real plant or you don't want to wait for it to grow, I found this at IKEA. I saw this on my last trip to IKEA, and it is rather realistic looking, $64.99, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize. The Pottery Barn rug shown in the design is called the Carmela. It's about $2,300, and I found a dupe in the 500s for this. It's the Lowe's Allen & Roth Sienna. So this is 9 by 12 and $514 versus the $23.19. The measurements are slightly different, but I think this is a wonderful savings. The vase in this design is no longer available. It's sold out with a number of vases in a grouping. But here are 2 vases that help us determine what the price might be, $149. I found this dupe at Wayfair. The Duke handmade terracotta vase, $53. It looks very similar to the one that's actually in the design, and I think it's a good value. But I also found a dupe, well, not a dupe, something a bit similar in the same vein at HOMEGOODS. This trip was yesterday, so it could be possibly at your HOMEGOODS. There's a matching smaller vase that you can see there in the back, but it's $39.99. On the same trip to Home Goods, I found a look-alike for these pillar candles. Here's one set, and I like the color of these, but obviously they're a little bit more gray than the ones in the photo. So there are at three different price points. It's $14.99, $16.99, and $19.99. So much more affordable than the Pottery Barn version, which are between $69 and $129 depending on the size. Now this set matches the color a bit better, and there are only two sizes, which is exactly what the Pottery Barn is. It's just that there are two of the small ones used in the design. So these are very affordable, $19.99 and $14.99, but you are never sure at HomeGoods whether the items will be there if I send you there. So I have dupes that we're sure to be able to find. Here are two options from Etsy. The first one is in the center, the RundownRustica shop, and they're priced individually, $26, $30, and $35. The shapes look similar, but the color obviously is not. Now you can pay $25 for 3 pillar candles that are handmade from the Etsy Mikla gift store. So $25 for those. And the color is a little more orange, but I read some of the reviews of these and a buyer said that they aren't quite as orange and they weren't happy about that, but I think you might be. Behind the pillars on the mantle is this round mirror. You'll have no trouble finding discount round mirrors at home stores like HomeGoods and At Home, but the fact is most of them are rather small. So if we're looking for the 36 inches, I found a great dupe at Target. The Catalina 36-inch round mirror is $82 at Target. It does look high quality. I found some others as I was searching, but it always seemed that the gold looked a little bit cheap. The framed print by Pottery Barn on the mantle is $249. It's 25 by 26, so almost square. I found 2 dupes at the At Home store. This is where I buy a lot of frames personally. I obviously fill the frames with my own photos or sketches, and that's what you would do in this circumstance, or print something from online because it's so small. We have an 18 by 18 for $19.99, and then we have one larger, and that is semi-rare, 25 by 25 for $29.99. That's a great value for such a large frame. I also found this frame at HomeGoods. This is 20 by 20, priced at $24.99. The next piece is the Folsom Coffee Table by Pottery Barn. If you watch my last video, you know that I found it hard to find a dupe for this because it's very unique. These edges, the color of the wood, the expanse of it, I can't find another one. But the closest I could get is the Wayfair GERKE coffee table, $420 as opposed to $7.99. Now we'll take a look at the C table, which is the little table in front of the sofa. It's a great piece to have for iPads, laptop, a book, a drink with a coaster, of course, because it's glass. And I found a great dupe for this. It looks, I think it might be the same piece, to be honest, from the same supplier. It's the Overstock Simple Living Manhattan C table, $122 as opposed to $254. I love the Leland lamp. It sold out. So for comparison's sake, I put the prices of all of the floor lamps at Pottery Barn. So they're all from about $2.99 to $4.99. In the comparison of prices, I'm going to use $2.99 to be super fair. But the Home Depot Adesso Trio is $127, and I think that's a great price for such a unique piece. The Adesso Trio is sold at multiple retailers, but Home Depot had the lowest price, so I used that. Pottery Barn's mango wood bead garland is on the coffee table there, and I found a dupe for it at Target. So $129 for the Pottery Barn model, and then at Target we have this one for $10.99. That's one of the least expensive garlands I found anywhere. I do notice that the beads are smaller than the Pottery Barn model, but I thought, wow, for that price, I think you could probably buy 2 of them and make an expanse of it. Pottery Barn's crossbar Hurricane is shown on the coffee table in the design, and I'll show you show you a few more looks at it. There's a bronze version and there's a darker wood version. So there are two women who do a DIY of this for $8 for one Hurricane. And I'm going to put a link to it in the description box. I didn't want to show any of their video because they don't have that option to mix their material. But anyway, I found these at HOMEGOODS. The Mango Wood Hurricane, $19.99 and $14.99. The Pottery Barn Crossbar, there are actually 3 sizes, but I gave you the prices for the 2 larger sizes, $69 and $89. I'm really excited to show you our savings. So first we're looking at the list of prices for all of the items in the design from Pottery Barn. So we have a total of $11,872. I gave myself a budget of $5,000. I knew we were going to blow that away, but I gave myself a budget of $5,000 for the dupes as well. All right, so $11,872. Now let's look at our dupes. It's $3,648 for all of the items. So like I said, we came in under a budget of $5,000 at saving us $1,531. Now I'm just scrolling through the items, which are not in the same order as they are in the video, but scrolling through so you can see that everything's in there for both Pottery Barn and the dupes. Well, I think we did a pretty good job here with these totals, but I do want to say if you have the budget for Pottery Barn items, piece by piece, analyze that, and I would definitely pay the budget if you had it because they have very unique special items that have interesting shapes. There's always something a little different, When you voted for the room that you wanted to see next and chose the blue, I did wonder if it had a little bit to do with the color, and I thought it would be a good investment of time to kind of explore the way different colors would feel in this room. Pottery Barn's Loyal Blue paint color gives this a little bit of a dramatic flair and coolness. So this one is something that's a little more earthy. And don't you feel when you look at this particular green that it's kind of more relaxing, but a little bit darker, deeper, somewhere to contemplate things perhaps a little more than entertaining? Dried time doesn't have an advantage in this experiment though, because have you ever heard the saying, blue and green should never be seen? So the blue isn't helping the green out that much. But anyway, you still get the understanding, I'm sure. Prepare yourself for a dramatic difference with Snowbound. Snowbound is my favorite shade of white that Pottery Barn offers in their paint palette with Sherwin-Williams. So it does so many different things to the room than the darker colors. So it looks larger, it brightens everything up, it feels more alive to me. But it does look a little more sparse, which would be a difficult task in this room because there are so many decor pieces. But that's what white can do for a room. The next color brings out a casual and relaxed look. Here we are with the exact same pieces all over the room, and just putting Nomadic Desert in just makes it look more like a family room than a formal living room. And that's how color changes things. That's why we're doing this exercise. Now for the next red end point, it's like we added a little bit of orange and yellow to the last color and we came up with this clay look. And doesn't it seem a little bit of a Southwestern style to you? And it doesn't, for me, it doesn't really go with this room. And again, that's how color changes things. We'll do one more color before we get to design tips. So let's look at Morning Sun. So a pale yellow color to me always looks happier and brighter and just kind of sweet and fun. I picture these in a formal living room, which I think this does make it look a bit more formal. And also obviously a kid's bedroom, your own bedroom if you want it to be nice and sunny all the time, or a kitchen. And I feel like once you add yellow, it's nearly impossible to do anything but traditional. It's so hard to pull off a modern design with yellow paint color, and just making that point. All right, let's go to design lessons. This design looks cohesive because of the splash of blue throughout the room. So it's just bringing everything together. We've got the pillows, the throw blanket, the vase, and then these frames are perfect for just taking the color that's on the wall and showing it through. It's really interesting. And then I also pointed out the book. In my last video, we explored symmetry and the benefits of using it to have a very precise and beautiful design. And this is just a look at the lesson there. Symmetry absolutely worked in the design that we're exploring in this video as well. So we draw a line down the middle of the room and we just take a look at the equal parts on either side. The console tables are mirroring each other, ideal. We have an equal distance between the sofa and the swivel chairs, so drawing that straight line across and obviously having the coffee table in the middle. And then flanking the fireplace, we have the floating frames, matching the uniformity of the two consoles. The floor lamp and the fiddle tree are similar in height, but also kind of have the same visual weight. And then what I love is the fact that they put this completely different items on each console, but they're placed to look like they're in a similar shape on the whole. Guys, you're about to learn a little bit of design wizardry. Okay, let's take a look at the vignettes on either side of the fireplace. So there's two ways that are making these look uniform without it being obvious. First of all, if you measure the width of each vignette, they're the same. Okay, that one is the more advanced. But then it's also typical to take whatever's on the right side and put it on the left side as the same height. So do you see how the pillar candle holder with the pillar on it and the frame, same height. And then the vase with the dried hydrangeas, same height. So we've got the same spatial reference there. Lastly, the cocktail table and the C table are fairly uniform. I don't know if someone thought this through, but if you took the C table and you didn't want it in front of you while you were sitting on the sofa, it would obviously go on the side, just like the cocktail table is on the side of that swivel. There are layers of texture in the design as well. The hydrangeas achieve that, the fiddle leaf plant does, the texture on the sofa pillows, and the blanket. Even, our garland there. And I would venture to say in these photos, because there are branches and things happening in there, it also gives it a lot of texture. We sure did accomplish a lot together on this video today. So we saved $8,200 with excellent design finds. And then we explored how colors affect a room and a design. And then finally, we had our petite design lesson. I really enjoy all of these things that we did today. My next video will be a few design finds that I found on a shopping trip recently. And then we'll go back to some dupes for Pottery Barn. So thank you for watching, thank you for staying until the end, and please make a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. See you on the next one.